Hey guys, Mark McMahon Real Estate, coming at you today live. Well, maybe not live by the time you see it, but I'll be alive, so regardless. Anyway, I digress. Today I want to talk about cash flow versus wealth. My opinion, wealth is much more important. So if this video is something that sounds interesting to you, please hit the like button, sign up for notifications, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot. Allie appreciates it. All right, so cash flow versus wealth. Everybody talks about it all the time. Which is more important? I think that question gets asked at least 100 times a week. My opinion, wealth. I want to grow my wealth so that I can leverage that wealth later on. So wealth is important to me, and I think the earlier you start doing that, the better off you are. Reason being is you've got longer to accrue that wealth. So let's say you buy a house for $300,000 today, and that house is going to be worth $600,000 in 20 years. If you buy it in 10 years, because you're trying to get cash flow, you're not going to have all that appreciation, right? So you want to do that as early as possible, and then you can go into your cash flowing properties. Because remember, you're doing this, you're starting this during your earning years. Hopefully you still have a job, some other form of income, so you don't necessarily need cash flow early on. Build your wealth first. Right, so just a couple of points. Cash flow, yes, it does give you quick monthly cash flow. It does. It will provide that. But wealth will provide you leverage. Leverage later on. You can borrow against that house to buy multiple properties. You can use the Burr method with your house rather than with private money or with your property. It's more diverse to have a lot of units that cash flow. That I agree with. Now, if you've got a lot of units that provide a lot of cash or a lot of little chunks of cash, that's a much more diverse portfolio than if you have more expensive houses, because you can only afford to get so many. All right, there's less risk when you've got more units, in my opinion. You have less risk of having a lot of empty units at one time. If you have 2 or 3 houses and 2 are empty, you're screwed. If you've got 30 or 40 cash flowing units, the chances of that happening where the majority are empty is very, very slim. You can meet your monthly goals and retire sooner. That is for sure. You can retire sooner, but you won't be able to leverage as well as if you start with the other properties. All right. Higher rents, less tenants. That's nice. Believe me, the less tenants you have and the more rent you get is always better. Less units, less risk. Well, now you've got less risk of repairs and things like that. Rather than 40 water heaters over here, you've got maybe 4 or 5 on this side. You'll have this eventually, right, for cash flow? But to start with, it might be easier to do it this way. You can meet your net worth goals quicker and leverage those properties. Guys, that is the #1 thing that I want to talk about. You can leverage these properties later on, and the more income, the more money that you've got stuffed away in those properties, the more you can borrow against them. Remember, if you pay $200,000 for a property, that never goes up, right? The value of the property goes up, but what you owe only goes down over time. So you can borrow money against that. And the more you pay that off and the higher it appreciates, the more you can borrow. i.e., then you can start buying a lot of your cash flow units. And I think it's perfect. So that is exactly why I think that the wealth side is much more important.
Nah, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I'm in the middle of a video, sir.
I know, but as a guy who sits at a desk while you shoot videos with your door wide open, sometimes I just gotta intervene. And, well, you're not wrong. No one's wrong here, but in my opinion, he's wrong. So I wanted to come in here and point out why he's wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
With cash flow, you're looking at a better life faster.
Okay. Why are you in such a hurry?
I mean, I would like to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor before I'm in a nursing home shitting myself. So,
wow, okay.
That's really the only reason I need, to be honest with you.
That's it. That's all you've got.
I don't want to have my glory years be my 70s. Like, you might be, over here on the wealth side, you may be the king of the country club. Mm-hmm. You might be worth $90 million, I might be worth 30. But at the end of the day, I got to travel in my 30s and my 40s and go race the Baja 1000 and do whatever the hell I want to do.
I see your point, but
Sooner.
I don't know that. Okay, but I guess the way I look at it is more prudent. In other words, it's a more of a technical way of building your portfolio, I guess. I want to make sure that as I get older, I've got this money to fall back on if I want to buy a property. So in other words, I can borrow against it. So and maybe that's old-fashioned, but that's kind of the way I started off doing it, and it's worked really well for me. I do see your point, though. If you want to get out and start traveling, like I know a lot of the young people that follow me want to, start van life. There's a lot of camping and adventures they want to go on it, and perhaps I do see your point on that. Maybe cash flow can be more important early on. I think I'm going to agree with you. I think there's...
Because I'm right.
I think we're both right. To be honest with you.
No, everybody's right. There's no right way, but...
Yeah, I think either way is fine as long as you do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't do anything, if all you do is watch this video, then it means nothing. If you pick one and go with it, you're going to be fine either way. Again, this one over here is going to require you to keep your day job longer, but you'll have more money, like Austin says. You'll have more money at the country club. You'll have more leverage also. But over here, maybe you only need $10,000 a month to live on very comfortably. And you could probably hit that much faster over here. That I agree with. But you're going to be stuck with probably lesser quality tenants and lesser quality apartments. But remember, I'm a C-class kind of guy, so that's right up my alley. Although I do have some trophy properties, but yeah, I kind of agree with you, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, if you were going to start out at my age, I'm 23. What route would you choose, or would it be a little bit of both?
I would do both. Like for you, especially living where you live in Huntington Beach. Sorry, I let the cat out of the bag. Those houses over there are, I mean, it's hard to find a house under $1 million, really. I mean, anything decent. So if you could get something like that and house hack it, that would be a great way to create wealth, and you'd have some cash flow, or at least have a place to live for free, and you'd have $1 million house. So I could see that being a great first purchase for someone young, even if you live in St. Louis, Missouri, where maybe the house costs $250,000. Still a great way to start, and then move on to some more cash flowing properties. Get to the point where you've got enough tenants where you can eventually get to the point where you don't maybe have to work, wherever that is for you. I don't have a problem with that, but I never want you to lose sight of wealth. Wealth is important too. Like I said, you can leverage wealth. But cash flow is hard to leverage.
You're also building wealth here, because at the end of the day, you might have 150 properties that pay you $500 a month instead of 20 properties that are worth $1 million each. But
that's a good point. And actually,
at the end of the day, these people are still paying off those 150 houses that might actually equate to almost that.
Yeah.
They may not go up in value, but at the end of the day, these people are paying it off for you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And you're bringing in a surplus of dollars eventually.
Yeah.
Once you have enough to live on, say $10,000, if you keep buying, and now you're bringing in $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a month as your journey continues, and you continue to live on that 10 or 15, whatever it is, then you have a surplus to go buy more that more people are going to pay off.
And you actually,
my point is,
you'd actually be creating wealth here too.
Yeah, my point is, you may end up in the same spot or close to the same spot.
Yeah.
This part, you just get to quit your day job sooner.
Yeah. All right.
That's just my take.
You know what?
Nobody's right here. That's just my opinion.
I don't disagree with what he said. I really don't. I still, probably because it's the way I started, I'm probably still stuck on this one. But he makes a really valid point. If you're really looking to make this your full-time job, then maybe this is the way to go. So why don't you guys leave a comment and tell me what you think. I know we did something on Instagram. I don't know if you guys are following me on Instagram, but you should. We post 3 or 4 times a day. Every time we get a thought, we post it. LA puts it up. But let me know what your thoughts are, because I'm really interested in hearing what you guys think. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Austin, thank you for popping in, bud. And LA, thank you for being behind the camera, as always. make sure and subscribe. Make sure and like this. We really appreciate that. And Allie's going to put a couple of videos on here that talk about stuff like this too. Guys, watch those. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time. Hey guys, check out these 2 videos. They're really going to help you on your investment journey. I'm also on Instagram. Tons of great video content there. Really good stuff. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time.